Evan, who was your first big influence? Animation, life, whoever.
Oddly enough, I would have to say it would be my sister, my older sister, because um, she was always like the artsy one in our family. I was like 5, right? So she was the left-handed girl. She always drew really nice, and I guess I've always like looked up to her. I'd never admit it when I was growing up, but she was always somebody that I looked up to and wanted to be like, and then then it ended up, I went to art school and she went to state school, and I'm the one that's delving into art for art's sake, and she's the one who's got a practical photography job. So you know.
How did you first get into animation?
Well, I'd have to say it was when I watched the special features on the Monsters, Inc. DVD, and I got to look at inside the Pixar studio, and I was like, you can do this for a living, and you can ride scooters around as an adult, and so I was just super stoked that this even existed. And it just became something that I looked up and pursued since high school.
What attracts you to animation?
Funny you asked that, Stuart, because I find animation to be the most effective art form for many reasons. Not only for the technical fact that we have to draw thousands and thousands of drawings that relate to each other to get across a story, instead of just one image that we work on, but because animation talks to everybody, and as recent films have showed, they can talk to everybody, and they can get across powerful messages that one image just lacks. So it's my medium, baby.
Was your family supportive of your creativity as a child?
Well, my family has always been supportive of whatever I decided I wanted to do, but my parents really didn't know what to do with me because my mom had a degree in social work, and my dad has an environmental engineer degree. So neither of them really had delved too much into the arts at all. But they were very supportive and always encouraged me, and were always proud of me when I had achievements.
Is there any particular character or archetype that you find yourself drawn to, such as the villain or the lonely character, or, that kind of thing? Of course, yes.
Well, I would say the villain, because I am a stickler for deadlines, and ask anybody who's worked for me, and they'll tell you that I am the villain. Oh, okay. We got it.
Who or what inspired your wacky, simple-shaped character designs?
Well, I would be lying if I didn't say I was highly influenced by UPA. When I was a kid, there was a resurgence of all the UPA stuff on television. And it really struck me. It was really graphic and it moved really cool. Also, a huge influence on my work is Don Hertzfeldt. I found his stuff when I was in 6th grade, and me and my friends just thought it was the coolest stuff. And I never knew that he considered himself to be an artist, and he's considered one of, like, the leading animation independents out there, and his films have all been successful, and so it just goes to show, that you don't have to have the perfect Disney style fluidity to make your work and make it move well, and that was always really intriguing to me. So I myself decided to pursue these venues, and I'm not gonna lie, at the beginning it was because it's just hard to draw realistically, especially for me. So it just became easier and easier to make simplified characters that move well.
Since being lead animator on The Princess and the Frog 5, The Horny Toad, you violently broke away from Disney. Was this because of creative or technical difficulties?
Now that's a funny story. You see, Disney had me on a trial basis because of my fame. So, what I wanted to do was just push those guys and see how far they'd let me go. And, John Lasseter didn't come in for the last, 6 months of production. So I just decided, yeah, what the hell, let's put the Evan filter on this thing. And, needless to say, after all the lawsuits, I won't be working at Disney ever again.
Looking back on your educational career, what lessons do you feel that you could teach the younger, more ignorant animation community today?
Well, Stuart, I would tell the animation community that they need to draw more, that everything in animation hinges off of your ability to communicate visually, and drawing is the best way to hone in on that and get that solid. I've struggled with drawing, and I know how frustrating it can be, but you just gotta get in there and work through it, and eventually you'll come out a much better artist and a much more diverse artist with the ability to take on multiple jobs instead of just the compositing job or just the editing job. So it just really is a good weapon to have in your art arsenal.
How did your experience with Disney open your eyes to working in a smaller, more intimate studio instead of a large, evil corporate entity like Disney?
Turmoil is the word that comes to mind. At Disney, I really didn't like how they had these glass catwalks where tours would come by, every 10 minutes, and they'd be looking over your shoulder and like, "What are you working on? What are you working on, Evan?" And I was all like, "Dude, get away! I'm trying to make a film. Gosh, go talk to Goofy or something." But the small studios are a lot better because you can do more. Like when I was at Disney, they were like, "Hey, you get to sign these papers all day because you're the director, blah blah blah." And so I didn't really do any art. So the small studios are great because you can draw the storyboards, and you can do the animatic, and you can set up the shot. You just do what you like and what's comfortable to you, and you have more opportunity to do different things too. Like if you want to direct on this piece, or be a lead animator on this piece, or be an in-betweener on the next piece. So it just affords for more individual opportunity.
Well, thanks. That's it.
Cool.
Neat. Who would you say is your favorite current or past animator?
My favorite animator is Don Hertzfeldt.
And finally, who's your daddy?